Hi ladies and gentlemen, here we are with an overview video of LG&D9, the truck that you can win along with $20,000 in cash. But don't forget, this giveaway comes to a close on July 24th, which is from today, exactly 15 days, which means by the time that you see this video, it's probably going to be a lot closer to the deadline. So that means you really don't have much time to get entered to win this truck and $20,000 cash. But with no further ado, let's get started. So the truck itself is a 2020 Denali Duramax, fully loaded to the brim, that you're going to get along with, of course, $20,000 in cash. Now you could use that $20,000 in cash for whatever you want. Now keep in mind that, yes, we, LG&D, always give cash with our vehicles. Some companies do not, and keep in mind, when you win something without cash, you still have to pay taxes on it. So we, at LG&D, like to give back more than enough tax money, or money to use for taxes, so that you guys aren't stuck paying with the taxes at the end of the year. So $20,000 is way more than enough to cover the taxes on this truck. Now, if you enter in anybody else's giveaways and they don't give cash away with the truck, then you're stuck with paying taxes. So $20,000 cash plus this 2020 Denali Duramax. And now, let's get to it. Paint-wise, as always, every single one of our trucks has immense amount of paint work. So this one, we basically took apart completely. We didn't do as much paint as we normally do. So some of the black plastics, as you can see, are still black, such as the center of the front valence and the back of the grille. Some trucks we literally go all out and do everything white, but this time we wanted to keep a little bit of a black accent, only because there is so much plastic on these new trucks. So for instance, if you guys know, most of you know, that they have the back bed steps, and then as well as the back bumper has the steps inside the bumper as well. So there's a lot of plastic on these trucks, and I just feel like all that white wouldn't look too well. So what we did was left a little bit of black in the front end to accent the back that we left black as well. So we left the step black. Now keep in mind, all of this stuff is textured plastic, and then, like I always say, we get all of our stuff painted by the same guy that we had paint all of our lights when we were building headlights for a living, basically. So everything on this truck is painted 100% professionally. You won't have any issues with this paint. The plastic, honestly, the paint on the plastic will probably hold up better than the paint on your factory bumper. I don't know why or how, but it is. And it's honestly smoother. If you take a look at anything that's painted aftermarket or afterwards on this truck, such as the mirrors, I mean, it's always glass. So let's start off with the painted parts. So the headlights painted only the outer section of the headlights. We didn't paint the inner black bezel right there. Like I said, we wanted to keep some black on this truck. So we only painted what we thought would be the most seen part, obviously. So no more orange reflectors. On top of no orange reflectors, we took out the LED in back of that so that there's no orange shining in back of that light. Because when you paint something white, if you paint over a reflector in white and there's an LED in back of it as well, it's still gonna shine through that, that color. I had to move the truck real quick to let somebody by, but back to it. So yeah, reflectors, if you paint them white, the LED will show in back of it, and then you're gonna have a very orange LED behind your white at night, and it just doesn't look good. It looks cheap. It's like somebody just painted over it. So we paint over it, but not only do we paint over it, we also remove the LED. And if we can't remove the LED because it'll pop up a code, then we take care of it. I don't want to give away the secrets, but we take care of it without removing it completely. So same thing goes for the reflectors in the fender wells. So these actually have LEDs from factory, and a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll paint them. This truck, actually, we had the fender moldings pre-painted when we bought the truck. These still had the LEDs in it, and at night you could literally see the orange shining through that whole entire reflector, so it was like an orange glow. Didn't like that, so we literally took these out, took them apart. That's what we do, took them apart, removed all the LEDs in there. Actually, we didn't remove them. We did the little special technique that we do to make sure that no codes pop up, because I heard, and I didn't want to find out on my own, that those, if you remove those LEDs, that they do pop up a code on your dash, and we didn't want that. So those are taken care of, no LEDs in back of there. Mirrors completely painted with white switchback strips, so when you turn, they're amber, and then when you're driving, they're white, but we have to turn on the DRLs for that. Actually, you know what, I might as well do that because we have to showcase the cab lights too. All right, so As you can see, there's no orange on this truck. Cab lights are white as well. So these cab lights, pretty much like all of the GMs, the only way to take them out is taking the headliner down. So, and we'll get back to the headliner a little bit later when we get to the back of the truck. But headliner did need to come down to take these cab lights out, and then they don't make aftermarket cab lights for these trucks yet, and I don't really foresee it anytime soon. So with that being said, there's really not many trucks. I believe there's a few in California. I made a post not long ago saying first truck with LED cab lights on a 2020, and somebody corrected me, it's not. But there are a few in California. Regardless, it is hard to do. Not many people want to do it. So we have white cab lights built the way I wanted to build them. Very bright, very uniform, and they're white. So you don't have amber LED cab lights and then white around the whole rest of the truck. Everything matches, all right? I could go over every single individual part that was painted. So valance is all one piece on these trucks. Well, there's three separate pieces actually. There's this part right here, then there's that one, and then there is this piece right here. So there's three separate pieces. However, these two end pieces, the big end piece and this black right here, is all one piece. So most people, what I've seen them do is when they paint this main piece right here, they'll also paint this because it's all together. It's not a separate piece. I wanted to leave that black. I always leave the air dams in the front black, just because I feel like that's how it should look. So take that off. That's why you don't really see any with the white valance, and then that black, because nobody really wants to take that off, but sure they'll do it. Now, so emblems painted white, obviously. Fog light bezels painted white. And then steps are not painted. These are amp steps. This didn't come factory. Unfortunately, Denali's do not come with steps yet. Who knows, maybe in the future they will, but these steps are powder coated with painted white caps. So the powder coat never scratches. I mean, maybe if you have rocks in the bottom of your shoes, they will. But I've never had an issue. Every single truck that we do white steps on, we always powder coat them, and I have never had an issue with it flaking, chipping, or anything. So powder coat's the way to go on steps, and that's exactly why we do it. A bed step painted completely white. This piece, and then this piece was kept black, just to accent the rest of the black, like I said. We also kept the bottom of the fender moldings black as well, just because I feel like when these are painted, it makes the fender moldings look way bigger than they actually are. So yeah, that's why we kept those black. Now the back bumper, everything was painted white except for the steps. So bumper completely painted white, obviously, besides the steps. DMVs are closed if you're asking about the Missouri plate. That is why we don't have an actual plate on it. All right, so taillights, as always, we always do if it's a stock taillight and not a recon, we always do bordered, color matched, and then tinted inside so that everywhere the light shows is covered up. These ones are a little bit different. They're a weird shape, so we didn't cover up this one light here, but regardless, they look badass, especially from the back. They look sick. Matched tailgate handle as well. All the plastics are completely smooth, obviously. White LED license plate lights. I don't know why they don't do those LED on these new trucks, but they weren't. And remember when I said the headliner thing? We had to take the headliner down for the cab lights, and we also did something else with it down. That's the third brake light. So the third brake light on these trucks, it's like a molded piece almost to the cab. Not really molded, but it's very, very hard to get to. Headliner needs to come down, which as it is not easy. Takes quite a bit of time, and it's just not fun because it's a headliner. No headliners are fun. But once you have the headliner down, you then need to take off your little wing here, whatever you want to call it, and then you can take off the third brake light. So since people really don't like taking headliners down, for the cab lights at least, all you need to do is drop the front. So people have done the cab lights, but in order to do the third brake light, the whole entire headliner needs to come down. So we took the headliner down and then did the cab lights and the third brake light at the same time. That's why you don't really see people with color matched their brake lights on the new trucks. And if you do, they most likely took the whole entire truck and got that all masked off and then painted. We did it right, and we took the third brake light completely out. Now that we are pretty much done with all the paint and lighting, let's get to the actual truck itself. So suspension is pretty much bone stock except for a leveling kit and more beefier components up front. So we have everything's powder coated, of course, not everything, but most of the stuff that came off is all powder coated. So FTS upper control arms, which allow for more clearance when you're doing a leveling kit. PPE heavy duty tie rods so that you don't bend a tie rod, which these trucks are notorious for, and they didn't even upgrade the tie rods on the 2020s. So these are everything pretty much suspension wise is the same exact thing from 2011. So these upper control arms, you could buy a 2011 one and they would work. Leveling keys, same thing. Shocks, same thing. So the only thing that is a little bit different are the spindles. They have a lot more bolt holes. So there's like 4 bolts holding on each caliper instead of 2, which is strange, but I'm not sure why they did it. Anyway, so everything's powder coated white. Fox 2.0 shocks. Shifted Industries 2-inch spacers, which you cannot see. If you guys want to take off the spacers because you don't like how wide it is, take them off. I mean, it's not this wide with just the wheels, so it's 2 inches less wide than this. But Shifted Industries spacers, like I always say, if you guys have watched any of our build overviews, you know that they are the only spacers I'll use. There are other great companies out there, but Shifted Industries has never done us wrong, and they're good at what they do. So Shifted Industries 2-inch spacers, American Force Vantage 24x14 concave wheels and polished with billet caps. Keep in mind these billet caps do not come with the wheels. It's an $800 upgrade, and they are made out of the same exact material that the wheels themselves are made out of. So these are actual polished aluminum. They're not plastic. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, metal lugs, spiked lug nuts. We used to use VV Concepts, but I think they went out of business, so we can't use them anymore. Metal lugs is the next step down from VV Concepts. But metal lugs, spiked lug nuts. Back we have powder coated leaf pack. Just gives it a nice look from the side. And then or a nice little touch. Funny story here. We bought on all the Denalis that I used to build for my customers and myself, I used to always do the Mag High-Tech diff covers in the rear. This one, being it was the whole rest of the truck was the same, I thought the rear axle would be the same. It is not. It is a little bit bigger. So the Mag High-Techs don't fit. I bought one, had it powder coated and everything. Didn't fit. Ended up having to get rid of that. But now we just did a little something to make it look nice. So we got the stock diff cover powder coated with the LGND logo in it. It looks alright. But once they have a Mag High-Tech come out, whoever wins this truck, please do it. It looks sick. So powder coated hitch. Everything that's teal on this truck is powder coated in HD teal by Prismatic Powder. So if you guys were wondering if you like it, HD teal. OEM bed cover. This truck actually came with the bed cover. So I mean, it's actually a very, very sturdy cover. Now we always use on all the trucks that we put bed covers on, we always use the backflip MX4 bed covers. This one is much sturdier because it's OEM, obviously. But we just didn't want to change it out. So it is an OEM GM bed cover that you can get as an option when you build your truck, I believe. So now let's get into I believe that's it for the truck itself. Suspension, paint-wise, and wheels and tires. Oh, tires, of course. Nitto 420Vs. Nitto actually discontinued the Nitto 420Ss, which were my favorite tire ever for low trucks, and these are the only 420s you can get now. So we decided to do that. They look good. I think the 420Ss would have looked a little bit better, but regardless, same thing that LGND3 had was 420Ss. It looked good on that truck, so I wish we could do that, but they're discontinued. Can't find them anywhere unless somebody has them left in stock. If you guys can see the lights, which I'm sure you already did, underneath every single wheel well, we have 16 total lights, 2 in each wheel well, 2 on each side, and then 2 in front, and then 2 in back. So these lights are efficient lighting supply, very bright, very reliable. I've never had issues with any of them, and that's what we run on all of our trucks, both giveaway trucks and personal trucks. So 16 on this truck, and the switch is right underneath your dash. Can I reopen it? So now interior. So I mean, it's an all black interior. I mean, if you guys haven't seen one of the 2020s in person, they are absolutely awesome. I mean, I love these interiors. I didn't think I would because the dash in pictures looks a lot smaller because it like goes in and up, almost like, I don't know, it's shaped weird. But it's the same screen as the old ones, and it's just a much more responsive, just a much better layout. And the best part about this whole entire truck is definitely the cameras. So you can actually turn this into a video. Turn the truck on. soon as you turn it on, it turns into a rear view mirror, or you can turn it off. And then you want to go to the back now. Since we turned it on, might as well. So, as you can tell, no, it's not stock. We actually bought it like this when we bought it. So, it is straight pipe, 5-inch Jammo exhaust, MBRP tip. These things sound amazing. They have a shit ton of power, and the trans, it's a 10-speed trans, so it's a little bit different than your normal 6-speed trans that most of you are used to, but I like it. It shifts awesome, and it sounds amazing, and if you're going to use it for towing, whatever it is, it has the power to tow whatever the hell you want. So, I feel like you can't hear me from back there. So, the truck is tuned by CTT Tuning. If you guys want to change the tune or whatever, you can. So it's yeah, it's a very fun truck, but be careful with it. Yeah, it was tuned by the previous owner, and I mean, honestly, I've never had a tuned L5P until now, and this is by far my favorite new tuned truck. So now you can win it. It's like one of the only tuned L5Ps. There's actually 2020 L5P. There's not too many, just because they're very tricky to tune, but it is a very fun truck. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, to be honest. No dress up under the hood. There's nothing really that makes it look pretty. It's basically just a straight pipe, the EGR kit, and then the not MBRP. It's a Whirly Custom Fab downpipe. So just the basics that you need to tune the truck. As you guys are wondering, it is tinted. You can take the tint off if you want. We just keep it tinted just so that it's cooler, it's very hot out, and just so that we don't get stared at all the time. But regardless, I wanted to show you guys real quick the money. So $20,000 real cash, literally brand new bills that we got from the bank, are gonna go to, these are all literally gonna go to one of you, along with this truck. So the title to this truck and this exact cash, these keys, are gonna go to one very lucky person, just like all the rest of our giveaways. So if you don't get entered, you really have no chance to win. It's as simple as that. So if you want to win a truck and $20,000 cash, not just any truck, an awesome 2020 Denali that is done beautifully, then make sure that you're entered, because you really do not want to miss a chance to win that truck. But anyways, guys, that's it. This is the end of this video. So if you haven't got entered already, remember, deadline, July 24th. Better go get entered. Anyways, good luck.